Amy, and take it from there.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. I gotta get your immediate reaction to what we just saw.
Um, that's the fight game, right? Um, Listen, we all know what Brendan brings to the game, but also Pineda, from his last fight, I knew that kid had, he's got good skills. But I think it came down to who found their rhythm first. When the two were in that first minute, they were both trying to find each other's rhythms. They were switching stance and whatnot. But Pineda actually started, implementing his game within that minute. And so, again, it's the fight game, and if you get caught, you get caught. It's just the way it is.
Seems like we kind of know who the person is in featherweight might be. What about light heavyweight? Was there anyone that stood out to you tonight?
Impa actually looked great tonight. He was quick on his feet. He did everything to earn the spot where he is at right now. So the good thing about that story is that Impa came from the Challenger Series, won that and fought in the first round as a showcase fight, gets into the season this round, and now he's in the playoffs. So. It's always good to see that kind of story. Last year that we saw that with his teammate, Delano. So I think there's a trend happening there in that team.
I think a lot of fans look down on this card a little bit just because some of the names weren't there. But if you look at PFL 1, with those names there, we got a lot of decisions. And then we go
Right.
to PFL 4, and there's, just an insane card.
Right.
What do you have to say to the people that maybe poo-pooed it a little bit?
Listen, the fight game, tonight, everybody knew what was at stake tonight. This was their last chance to try and make the playoffs. And so I think there was a lot more urgency in terms of, again, we had something like 8 finishes, right? So everybody, even in the fighter meeting, as I spoke to the fighters, that this was their last opportunity to get to the playoffs. And, of course, everybody came out tonight and did exactly that, was to bring a fight. Listen, the fight game sometimes, you don't really know. You kind of expect one thing, and then something else might happen, right? But, if you're a true fan, you're going to enjoy the whole fight game, regardless if it's a good night or a bad night or whatever it is. These guys train their backsides off 2 months, 3 months, 4 months at a time to actually get in there and do what they do. So coming from somebody that did that for many years, not every night is going to be your night, and that's the unfortunate part. Listen, I was following Brandon's training right through his camp, and he looked amazing. And tonight it wasn't his night. You know what I mean? Pineda was able to land the first shot, and the first shot that actually mattered and counted, and ended up walking away with the win. And now he's in the playoffs.
And last question for me. I spoke with Deontay Wilder, who was here in the crowd today. He mentioned that he has been in talks with you guys for a fight. Can you confirm that? Can you give me any details?
Well, if he mentioned it, so I'm just going to say this. Yes, there's been talks, but, that's all at the moment, where it is right now. So we'll see.
All right, guys, we're going to start here, then over here, and then back here.
A common theme amongst fighters today was the way that PFL has been kind of a home for them since they started with them. And PFL has certainly shown a ton of progression, especially in the last few months with the growth that it's showing. How would you explain, or can you speak a little bit to how much you've grown and what your future directions are or plans are?
First of all, to answer that question, it's pretty much thanks to the fighters, right? Because we can do all we want to do, but unless the fighters show up and put on the show, there's really nothing much we can do about it, right? And tonight, everybody showed up. In terms of the direction, listen, our goal is to continue to grow. We're in about 140, 150 countries around the world, and we're continuing to sign TV deals around the world. And so that's the goal, right? And I feel like from last year to this year, that's where we're going. And it's nice when fighters and fans come up and say, hey, listen, for example, one of my good friends was watching the fights in Korea, and he sent me a photo of a little video of the main event happening at real time. You know what I mean? So that's exciting. But yes, the growth and the goal is to continue to grow.
Ray, welcome back to Atlanta.
Thank you.
So after last year, it was almost a no-brainer for you guys to come back here and do another 3-week stint.
Yeah, I mean, this venue is an amazing venue. You know what I mean? And the fans, I mean, everybody was into the whole into the fights tonight. So it's fun to be here, and everybody's nice and welcoming.
So recently, there's been a lot of headlines. A lot of PFL fighters popped for banned substances. You guys didn't swipe it under the rug. You guys didn't try to cover it up. You guys actually put your foot down and said that kind of stuff won't be tolerated here, and that you're not just going to come to from another organization and come out here and try to game the system. Kind of talk about how your stance on that.
Well, obviously, my stance is that sports should be competed at the highest level, but at a safe level, and everybody being clean. That's the message right through. Of course, the message with that also moving forward, USADA will be part of this program from now on, going from the USADA will be in the playoffs as well as the championship and moving forward.
And lastly, what are your expectations for the rest of the season? I mean, you got Shane Burgos coming up, you got Clay Collins,
Right.
Stevie Ray. I mean, what are your expectations?
Well, tonight is it excites me, right? Because everybody came out to fight with so many finishes, and so I feel like once these guys have set that bar, everybody else is gonna follow, and I'm looking forward to next week and the week after.
Welcome back to Atlanta, Ray.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go right here to our right and then in the middle.
Hey, Ray, so you just brought up USADA. I kind of want to follow up on that. You said that that's going to be part of the playoffs moving forward. Can you talk about have you signed a deal with USADA? Is that going to be year-round random drug testing?
That is correct. Yeah, it would be exactly the same program that USADA does for the UFC.
And is that right? When did that go into effect, or when will it go into effect?
It's going to go into effect as of the playoffs. Yeah, so, once this is said and done, I believe whoever is into the playoffs, they go into effect right away.
Was this something you were working on before the recent, run of drug test failures, or kind of what inspired this to happen?
Well, especially from the first show, when we had, I want to say 8 people that popped, so 8 or 9 people. That's, for a league, for me, that's, a no-no. And so, and again, I don't want to, throw people's names out there and whatnot, but the bottom line is we're going to keep this sport clean. We're going to keep the league clean. We're going to have USADA be part of the league, and that's how it's going to continue to move forward.
Great. A couple quick ones. Just on the Deontay Wilder note, how did that come to be? Was any of that part of, Francis has obviously been looking for a boxing match. You guys recently signed Francis. Is that what sort of started this, or just talk me through how Deontay coming here happened?
Honestly, to be truly honest, is I wasn't part of those conversations, but I mean, at the moment, it's more kind of like friendly conversations rather than say, hey, listen, we want to do this, this, and this. You know what I mean? And so we don't know where that's going to go. It almost kind of like when we were first talking to Francis, there were friendly conversations, but we were interested. And so, and it took a while, as you guys know, it took a while before Francis really made a decision on where his home was going to be. So it's kind of very similar scenario with the Wilder situation.
And last one, Marlon Moraes, legend of the game. Think about his career, kind of what he meant to you, PFL.
I consider Marlon a friend. I signed him when back in WSOF days, back in 2012. He was a great champion there. Went on to the UFC, continued he fought the highest level there, came back here. But it's also one of those things where I was really happy that he saw where he's at in terms of his career. And like you said, he's been in this game a long time. He's 35 years old. But now he gets to kind of enjoy and have a little bit more time with his family and his kids. And so I'm happy for him. I mean, again, you're right. He's a legend in the sport, and he's done wonders for the game as well. And I wish him nothing but the best.
Back here in the middle.
Hey Ray, this is Zion with the Undisputed World of MMA. I saw you at the weigh-in, and I just want to ask you, I saw you with that red and black logo. How did it feel wearing that Batman Bubba Goodwin robe?
That was,
like?
I felt like that was, it turned me into Darth Vader's brother. You know what I mean? No, but Bubba is always full of gimmicks and whatnot. And again, he came out tonight and not only put on a show, a good finish, and then he's in the playoffs. So good for him.
You look good in the robe, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
The other thing I wanted to say is the PFL is really making some big moves.
Yes.
You guys are setting a trend. You're having better splits, giving 50% to the fighters, better pay to the fighters. What message are you sending to the MMA world and the fighters out there as it pertains to the PFL?
That if at any time you become a free agent, we're right here. And, we're the other big player in the team, in the game. And so, when you become a free agent, we'd love to have you.
So, Ray, looking at the main event tonight and just seeing like how that all transpired, you being a former competitor in this game yourself, I know you have to kind of sit there and put your professional face on and not try to get too emotionally involved, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, did that kind of take you back, like kind of to that time when you and Mark Hunt went at it, which was a classic KO kickboxing match, one
Right.
of my favorite matches of all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, when I'm at, cage side and, for example, the fight tonight, the main event, for example, the way it was going back and forth, and like I said, within that first minute, they were both switching, and they were trying to, suss out who was going to go first and whatnot, and it's fun to watch that chess game, but then Pineda did what he did, and congratulations to him.
Back center.
Congratulations on another successful night. Great
Thank
night,
you.
all kinds of fun finishes. First off, when Bubba was standing right there, we have him on video that he said he'll get you one of those matches if you want one. He'll happily get your own.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good. No, I'm good.
And then secondly, obviously you guys started as a base here in the U.S. You've got the Europe going on now, and then potentially with the France and stuff into Africa.
Yes.
Kind of, what are the next few steps that we can look forward to that you guys are into, things you can talk about?
Listen, the goal is obviously, we have other things going on. As you know, we have the Challenger Series happening. We have PFL Europe happening. We're looking to do PFL MENA, PFL Africa, PFL Oceania, PFL Asia, PFL Latin America. So, again, like I said, going back to what I said earlier, is that our goal is to continue to grow and continue to be on every TV there is around the world.
Take over.
All right. Anybody else?
Thanks, Ray.
All right.
Okay, you guys gonna have to stay there and take a photo. You guys ready?
We ready.
Thanks, team.
Thank you, Ray.